Hey everybody, it's Josh. I want to tell you about something extraordinary that is happening. We have a lot of amazing story directors, which is what we call our teachers, but one of them is really demonstrating herself to be an actual hero. Her name is Balbinka Korzeniowska, and I'm mangling the pronunciation a little bit, but suffice it to say, she is a filmmaker. She is one of our best story directors. She was born in Poland, and now she is going back to Poland in order to help and document the refugee crisis that is going on, as over 2 million refugees, by far and away the most that have left Ukraine, have landed in Poland. I am interviewing Balbinka now. She is leaving on Sunday. Her story is extraordinary, and the story of the refugees that she will be filming as a part of her documentary, that's extraordinary as well. So the interview runs about a half an hour. It's the longest interview we've done here at Written Out Loud, but we want to be telling more and more stories now, and this is one of the most amazing ones that has bumped into our company. So here's our interview with Balbinka. We will be in touch with Balbinka over the next several weeks as she lands in Poland and begins her journey there. Hey there, Balbinka, how are you?
Hi, Josh. I'm so excited to be here. I'm going to throw that question right back. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm incredibly honored and kind of blown away that one of our story directors, one of our best story directors, you, Balbinka, are throwing yourself right into the middle of this extraordinary fray in Eastern Europe, and particularly Poland. So I'm going to attempt to, I'm partly Polish, so I'm going to attempt to pronounce your last name so I can get your name in full, and then everyone who's listening is going to want to hear your story since it's unbelievable. Balbinka Korzeniowska?
Yeah.
Ballpark.
No,
All right.
it's literally it's not even ballpark. It's there. It just dropped in. It's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, you're very welcome. Okay. So you are a storyteller and a storytelling teacher. I'd love you to begin by talking about where you're from. And then, of course, your journey takes you, as mine did, into Hollywood and now into teaching. But begin with where you were born and where your family is from, if you don't mind.
Of course. And thank you for this opportunity, first and foremost. So I was born in Poland and I lived there until I was 6 years old. My family and I came during the sort of wave of the fall of the former USSR. My grandfather was a politician, so I was always interested in sort of international relations and what was happening in my country. My first job was actually working for the European Parliament because before I got into storytelling in Hollywood, I thought I actually did want to make the world a better place through politics. And then I realized, I don't know if I can deal with bureaucratic red tape my whole life, which is interesting because Hollywood is kind of the same but different, right? We're all a bunch of politicians at heart at the end of the day. And some of us, let's just go there, are actually politicians, actors, politicians again, meaning the most incredible hero that we can all say is President Zelensky right now. Guy, if he doesn't inspire you to be your best self, I think you might be a broken human, but I digress.
No, I completely agree. He has captured all of our imaginations, and honestly, obviously, he's redirecting the story of the world with his bravery and his non incidental charisma as a leader. So yeah, I'm equally inspired. So no to politics, but then into storytelling went you.
Yes. So when I finished college, I studied politics. I worked in Belgium for the European Parliament. I knew that wasn't the right place for me. I found myself back in theater because I actually loved studying Chekhov of all people. And I thought, maybe being in theater that might inspire me in some way, shape, or form. I was a dancer for a long time as well, but it wasn't enough. And I'm very proud to say I'm Polish because I have always been inspired by Polish filmmakers, particularly Krzysztof Kieślowski, who is kind of a cult filmmaker. I'm just gonna loosely promote and brag about the fact that we know his composer. He's a very good family friend. So he's actually on a trip with my mom right now. So I come from this Eastern European filmmaking passionate family that you know, I've read so many of his biographies, and one thing Krzysztof says is you have to be able to live life before you can tell stories about it. So I kind of bounced around, and then finally, you know, late in my 20s, I realized I need to go apply to film school and actually have this solid foundation. I always believe in the power of education, which is why I'm part of Written Out Loud. And so I went to film school, absolutely loved my time there. My brain is just a sponge for all things related to filmmaking and storytelling. I met my best friends who are now my collaborators. And I always go back to sort of trying to mix my politics with my I would say my humanitarian efforts with my storytelling efforts. And so I very much explore a lot of Polish driven stories, complex characters. I always root for the immigrant, the underdog, the female character. So naturally, when the war broke out in the Ukraine, I felt first obviously personally affected by it. As a Polish person, my soul is there. My heart might be both in America and in Poland, but my soul always goes back to my people. And remembering how many times in history we've gone through something horrible, right? So it's my duty to go and shoot a documentary there. There's no choice. I have to do this, and I am doing this.
Yeah, so just so that I can lay the context for the move that you are about to make back to Poland, you have been working with us, as I mentioned, one of our very best story directors at the Pilgrim School in Los Angeles. This is a situation where we are teaching our program in person inside this remarkable school. Before you talk about the documentary that you're going to make and the stories that you're going to tell in Poland, you're leaving on Sunday, right? Oh my goodness. Tell me a little bit about your experience at the Pilgrim School. My guess is that the Pilgrim community is going to be, you know, rooting for you and very much a part of this journey now that you've been bonding over there. So tell me about your teaching process there before setting the groundwork for your journey.
Absolutely. So the kids are beyond inspiring. Aside from the fact that they're so into this curriculum that you and Jago and a couple other beautiful humans have created, I think they definitely feed off of my magnetism, my energy. Now they're very curious. They know I'm Polish. So yesterday there was a question asked, can you just tell us the assignment in Polish? Like, they're very curious. They want to explore. And actually, Josh, yesterday I showed them a picture of the family that I'm the 15 refugees, which I'm sure we'll get to.
Yeah.
And there's 10 children. And I projected a picture of this family and I told them what I'm doing, what's happening. And I asked them to either draw or write something that might make these kids happy. And these kids are so emotionally intelligent. You know, questions like, well, we can't say we're grateful for our house because that would be strange. And I said, yes, that would be strange, right? But let's work through it, right?
Yeah.
And they came up with the most beautiful pictures that they spent most of the class drawing. They signed their names. They wrote a couple jokes. They asked me if it's okay to be translated into Ukrainian. I said, yes, of course. You know, they are very much a part of my journey as well. And the fact that they're so curious and they want to help, I mean, the emotional intelligence is beyond inspiring. They're in 8th grade going on like 25 years old.
Yeah. It's an amazing school and an amazing community. And I'm so glad that you're sharing it with them before you leave, because I guarantee you this, Balbinka, with the other teachers there, you know, Tessa and Hannah and the other teachers that are there, and with our connection with the administration, we're going to make sure that you remain connected with those students. We want that community to be hearing about what you're doing over there, the stories that you're being a part of and discovering in Poland, so that this remains a shared experience with the kids in your class. And then, of course, you know, when you're back, my goodness, the stories that you'll be able to share with them. But I want you to tell us now what has happened to your family. You have obviously, well, not obviously, your family has taken in a considerable number of Ukrainian refugees. Obviously, this is only just weeks ago. Tell us what has been going on with your family that is leading you to leave America and go back over there.
Yes. So my dog might come in as a sound
I hear you.
sound delay. So basically, you know, it's been really incredible. While I'm not there, you know, and I don't personally see these things happening, what I'm hearing from my family, my friends there, is when the war broke out, most people went either to the train station or to the border to pick up refugees. And it's amazing, you know, there was no system of communication other than we're just going to show up. We have signs in Ukrainian or English that say, come to my house. I have a 1-bedroom. I have 2. So most people did that. And it really does. And again, why? Because A, we've been there as Polish people. B, it's just our duty. These are our, you know, distant brothers and sisters from a different mother and father. So there's no question. We rose to the occasion. Now, I should say, Łukasz, who I'm going to interview, he's a family friend who climbed mountains with my mom. My mom is a big mountain climber. She went to Pakistan, of all places, with this guy. And he is absolutely fearless. So he went to the border and he was supposed to pick up 1 family. He came back with 10 children and 5 women who are currently staying with him on a permanent type basis because they don't have anywhere to go back to. So this man is expecting a child in a month. He has his own 6-year-old kid. He now lives with 6 women and 11 children. And the sense of humor that this man holds in all of this, I mean, that's what keeps us going. This sense of, you know, it's a tragic comedy in a way, right? Yeah. There will be times of absolute laughter and there will be times of tragedy, and it's just life. That's what it is. It's the 180-degree shift because we're literally at war, right? So you know, his biggest problem isn't that he has 16 people living in his house. It's that he thinks he's gaining a little too much weight because there's too many women cooking for him. Okay. So, and this is how we make it through, because the alternative of just living in a stage of suffering is that's not survival, right? So the Polish people really do have this dark sense of humor that allows us to, we have to survive, right? And how do we survive? We make it human. We make it bearable. We make it slightly fun, if I can even say that. So he has been beyond inspiring. And again, he doesn't know how long this family's staying. He said they'll stay as long as they need to. That's his approach at this point in time. So, you know, for me, I'm not going there to sensationalize the war in any way. The media is doing enough of portraying all the terrible atrocities that are happening. I'm here to document. Well, the title is The Intimacy of War. So I'm here to document what this actually looks like for when 2 families, actually several families, come in and they how does it mean to live together? What does their new normal look like? What is the meaning of empathy, compassion, and honestly, what does a modern day hero look like? That to me is the point of going there, of showing the quiet moments that we don't get to see on camera. And I've a lot of my American friends are just genuinely interested in my view of what's happening because again, you're getting so much from the media, you don't know what's going on, right? There's a lot of complexities in the culture itself. For example, most of these women speak Russian because they had to, but the younger generation speaks Ukrainian because they didn't, right? So I'm going to have a Ukrainian translator, a Russian translator. We're all mixing together. But again, if we can all somehow smile and understand that we all have each other's back, we're here no matter what. We'll make it through.
Amazing. Well, look, we are with you on this journey. All of Written Out Loud. That includes, everyone who works here, of course, your fellow story directors, but also your students at Pilgrim, your fellow teachers at Pilgrim, and everyone who's watching now as we grow our audience. This is perhaps the most important story that we have ever been involved with as a company, Written Out Loud. So I want to give everyone listening the opportunity to contribute to Balbinka's film. She is obviously just going off on a shoestring, not backed by a studio or anything like that. But needless to say, you will be helping to contribute towards the making of one of the most important stories of our time, and focusing in particular on one extraordinary, now extended family. So look for the link to donate either below this video or in writtenoutloud.org, our social channels. Look on our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and what have you. This money is not going to Written Out Loud. This is going directly to Balbinka's efforts to make this film and get this story out there, which of course is going to benefit everyone in the community who's helping out with these refugees. So thank you so much, Balbinka, for your bravery. We are with you. You are doing something that most of the rest of us don't have the courage to do, but we are really, really inspired by everything that you're doing, and we really, really are with you.
Thank you so much, Josh. And for anybody who has the generosity to be able to donate, any donations are welcome. All of my crew is donating their time. A lot of people are donating their resources. People aren't even thinking about what's happening. It's just like everybody is coming in because we have no time to think. It's happening and we have to do it now. And like I said, it's my duty as the director to go there and just believe that my fellow humans will come and support telling this really inspiring, important story and bringing a different light of what war looks like, the quiet, the beautiful, the important moments of how we survive.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you. Good luck, to say the very least. When you're there and you get settled in, let's do, a live, whether it's a Facebook live or, Instagram live or whatever it is. Now we're all dying to meet this father who's worried about how fat he is because he's surrounded by 10 new women in his life. But we want to meet these characters and we want to support you however we can. We are now your audience as you tell this story. And we are your collaborators as well in every way. So thank you so much, Balbinka. Thank you for being a part of Written Out Loud. Your students at Pilgrim, thank you. You are with us for life, and we are with you.
Thank you so much. I feel so supported, and it's a team effort. So I cannot do it without everybody's support and appreciation. I'm all about collaborating with the right humans, and this is just the most beautiful energy. Thank you so much, Josh.
You bet. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah.